Yes, sir, Ski. Welcome back, family. How you doing today? I hope you enjoyed your long weekend, right? It's your boy D. This is D's Daily DD, our daily due diligence, right? And we're back at it because, yeah, the market was closed yesterday, and I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I know I did. I went to the lake with some friends, and we balled out, had a good old time, right? It was crazy, right? It was fun. So I was happy to get out there and just get away from a lot of things and just kind of recenter, right? And be out in nature too, right? Instead of just indoors and all that. And I almost got sick yesterday at night. I was not feeling that good, right? Like had a runny nose, like cough. I was kind of like, oh shoot, because it got kind of cold too, right? But yeah, it was still a good time today. I'm feeling all right. Yeah, and we got to get into some things, right? And just before we get into all the data, I want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, right? Don't take it as that. Take it as for education and entertainment purposes only. And guys, if you're an AMC shareholder, right, and you believe in the squeeze and you're here for the squeeze, and no matter what happens, like on these bad days too, right? Like today, the market was complete trash, right? Complete, just red, just volatility everywhere, right? But if you're still an AMC shareholder right now, guys, and you started, right, like when GameStop started, or even just, like a year ago, a year and a half ago, I've been in the markets a little bit longer, 3 or 4 years now. I think going on 4 probably at least. So it's a little bit of different time frames or whatever, right? But when you actually doing this and trading, you experience what it really is, right? And now you understand the concept of making money and losing money in the market. But remember, you don't lose until you sell your shares, right? So right now you could just be holding, right? That's what I'm doing just personally, right? All my positions, guys, like I haven't sold anything. I've just been holding, buying when I can, buy more to lower my average, because a lot of the companies that I'm invested in, right? Besides AMC, like I believe in the short squeeze. I hold that, with my diamond hands, but the other investments too, like Lucid and Decentraland and Bitfarms, and I'm still holding all that stuff. It's just I'm waiting for this market to turn around, and it hasn't happened yet, right? It's rough out there. We've just seen a lot of red lately, right? And I'm in there with you guys, okay? But I just want to congratulate you guys, because you are no longer newbies, right? You're no longer that first day investor, right? Not knowing really what's going on. If you think back on all the information that has been put out there, right, by the apes and the DD, and if you've been following and you've been learning, take a look back and look at how much you've learned. I mean, even myself, like even though I had been trading and doing a lot of things prior to this, I kind of already understood how it worked, right? But just this past year alone, I mean, the background, like the payment forward flow, right? Like the naked shorting, the FTDs, all that, the details of how that stuff actually works. And yeah, I just want to, congratulate you, because you have that knowledge now for the future if you continue to choose to trade in the markets, right? Depending on your crypto or whatever, right? Now you have the basics at least of what to do, right? And how it works. Okay, so that's just my point of view, guys. When it comes to leadership, leadership goes a long way, I believe, on the good times and the bad times. Right now, some of the bad times, right? And I'm here for the people, right? I'm here for you guys, for all my subscribers, right? I appreciate you guys. That's why I come here daily, try to give you, the best information that's out there. And I'm going to just try to keep it real with you guys, right? As much as I can, because that's just how I am, right? So I'm going to tell you the truth. In my opinion, there is a lot of shady things going on with AMC. I'm going to show you something that I found in the pre-market that I think is pretty wild. Just yesterday when it opened, right, I was watching in the pre-market, right, when the pre-market opened, and I compared it to a couple other stocks, but it was crazy what I saw, right? So I do believe the squeeze is near, but I don't believe it's this week, okay? I don't think AMC will squeeze by Friday, okay? And that's because of we have to wait until March 3rd, March 4th, or like that week, right, to see what the transparency rules, the new changes, right, that are gonna go into effect. Like what does that really do, right? We have to see it first. There's all the research that we've done that we've seen, and you have other YouTubers talking about it, and we know that it's near, right? Okay, so let's see what that really does first, okay? Because those changes were done pretty fast, as far as like for them hitting the Federal Register and getting approved and the voting, right, and all that. It happened, in my opinion, pretty fast. AMC just closed at 1647. All right, the market just closed. So we did hit a peak of $18 and we closed at 1650, right? All right, guys. So let's jump into this. What I want to show you, which is the pre-market stuff. Okay. I have two things here, right? So I have some AMC screenshots, and then I have some of DWAC. All right. Again, this was in the pre-market. As far as I know, this is like the bid price and the ask price, right? That is, it's showing there. So on DWAC, even though, you know, there was a lot of volume, it was up, I think it was up like 10, 11, 12%, right, in the pre-market. And it stayed in this range. So the ask was like $108, $110, $120. And then the bid right here, right, is $80, 82, 85. I was like watching it while it was happening, right? And then let's go over to AMC, okay? Now, when it was with DWAC, it was around the same range, right? It was like a window of like $20, $40 within what at the current share price, right? So now when we went to AMC, I started seeing this where you have $500 and then you have 1098, right? So that means that somebody is trying to sell these shares. That's the highest. Someone's selling at $500. They're putting in a sell order, right, to try to sell those shares for that amount, for $500. That's the highest. But it's crazy to me how AMC trades at right now $16 to $20 has been the range, right? And these prices are way up. Okay, now let me move on. AMC, you see $50, all right, $14. You see $300, $14.33. That's how the bid and ask, right, the spread, that's how wide it is right there. But it's crazy how high it is, okay, right? Because this is staying in the range, right? 108. I took another one here, 119 as far as DWAC, right? And I'm just comparing it to DWAC because I took those. I looked at Lucid as well, and it was in just the same range, right? There was nothing like in Lucid, there wasn't anything coming in at $400, $500 like to sell, right? So I just found that very interesting. I'm like, is that a glitch? Is that just like just people, you know, putting those orders in? Like, it's crazy to me to see that, right? How wide that spread is. So 300, I'm gonna blow your mind with one of these, okay? I don't know if you're gonna be ready for this, but 100, right? This is still AMC. Right here's one of them, right? So $800, right? Look how high that is, guys. So, and 1720. I'm telling you, on the other ones, you were not seeing that. All right, now this is the last thing I got to show you. Look how insane, $8,000, guys. Somebody was trying to sell shares at $8,000, right? And you see this only with AMC, okay? Now, that's what I'm telling you. Like, I do believe in the squeeze. I think other people believe in the squeeze based on this data, right? I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you what happens, right? Like, I was like, man, that looks insane. And then so what I did, I'm not gonna show you my shares, but this is just one of my portfolios that holds AMC. But you see my average price right now is $23, so I'm negative on it. But my position is 58%, right, of my folder. That's AMC. So I put in a sell order for one share at $8,000 to see if it would get filled, right? Because it's not going to show up in the level 2 data like my order because I'm retail, right? So remember, Gary Gensler said 90 to 95% of retail orders don't even hit the market, right? So I was just testing it. It didn't get filled, but I wanted to see, right? So I tried to sell one share at 8,000. Once I saw that other picture, it was just crazy. I was like, okay, so what happens what if in the pre-market, like, you know, just tinfoil hat idea, like if you put in that order, right, and there's hedgies that might just pick it up at that price, right? Just, you never know. It's the market. All right, cool. So next thing I got to show you is going to be this info, okay? It is serious as far as like the news with, you know, Russia and all that, guys. Like, a lot happened this weekend, but I think this is why the market bounced back up earlier when you saw everything after it dropped. You know, the SPY came ripping up too. So Joe Biden announced new sanctions against Russia on Tuesday, warning that Vladimir Putin's actions in Ukraine amounted to the beginning of a Russian invasion, right? We still believe that Russia is poised to go much further and launch a massive military attack against Ukraine, Biden said. The sanctions will target the Russian bank VEB and Russia's sovereign debt, cutting the country from the Western financing in the coming days. The sanctions will also target Russia's elites and their family members, Biden said. All right, so I believe, and just in my opinion, that's why you saw a little bit of a relief, right? But yeah, that's why there's still this damper on the market, guys, right? And all this pressure. So as you can see, and this is the part I was talking about right here, right? When AMC got rejected and it came back down. A little bit of a rally. We saw the morning open up kind of strong, right? But it happened across the market and it was just a fake out. and everything started chopping down. So I'm sure there was a lot of people that made money with put options today, right? Then I just want to show you real quick, you know, the simulation, the freaking algos. Again, it's GameStop and AMC, and they have literally this exact same, almost candle for candle price action and chart, right? Just different prices, but at the same moments, like the same times, right? Like you even see this gap. You see this gap comes back up, back down, W up, right? The bit of a head and shoulders up and down, right? So it's almost bar for bar, right? Which just always just drives me crazy. Volume for AMC was 42 million. From who, from what, from where, I don't know. I'm still holding my shares, guys, and I have 2 portfolios. And I do believe the squeeze is near, right? And also AMC has earnings on March 1st, so you got to remember that, right? And if the transparency hits on the 3rd, that's like a little window there, because AMC originally had their earnings on the 8th and they moved it to the 1st. So I'm like, that's kind of bullish to me if you're releasing it earlier. So this was the SPY, guys. I talked about the SPY dropping to this support, right? It bounced perfectly and it came back up, and we continue to see the movement, right? It needs to come back at least to 435 before it breaks up to this side to the 442 level. But if tomorrow, you know, bad news continues and it's just going to come and drop down this way, okay? It's going to break this support of 425 that it found there, okay? So that's where it's going to test. Looking at this, only one good thing I want to point out on this, right? The crazy awesome company, Stonko Tracker, 600,000 shares, right? I see that number getting lower and lower, and those are the shares available to borrow according to this. But remember that Ortex is still reporting 100% utilization. 2,000 calls in the money right now. Is Monday or Tuesday, sorry. And, you know, there is a lot more puts right now, 24,000 versus 2,000. So we need to see, it's basically the same. You know, I looked at the options chain, it's basically the same thing. $20 is the line this week, guys. If we can see a move past 20, the shorts are in trouble, okay? And we've tested that in the past weeks, all right? So we need to see a breakout above 20 for anything to matter here in the options right now. The news that came out over the weekend, guys, if you haven't seen this, is that the largest U.S. pension bought AMC, GameStop, and Berkshire Hathaway stock. In the fourth quarter, California Public Employees Retirement System more than quadrupled investments in AMC Entertainment and GameStop, 2 high-profile meme stocks, and dramatically lifted its holdings in Berkshire Hathaway, Buffett's investment firm, and probably the polar opposite of a meme stock, right? But yeah, largest U.S. pension, right? If they're buying in, right? And I'm gonna show you a couple more things here on AMC. Breaking in true boomer on Twitter fashion, Gasparino just doxed himself as algo hack. It appears that Gasparino forgot to switch his Twitter accounts before posting this. Got him on Reddit. Insider trading ? You're going down, right? So it's because he always, you know, hates on AMC. He talks bad. He went and deleted a bunch of tweets, so he's not looking very good right now, right? And he's talking about the AMC still haven't had their MOAS. Sorry for your loss, but stalking me is not going to end well. And then over here, you can see that he has $2 million, right? Supposedly, according to this, allegedly, just that there is a $2 million short position that's open, right? And it's supposed to be him on like his other account, right? That's kind of like what I'm getting from it. Okay. This is what's crazy to me again. The FTDs, right? They're rising again, guys, at 531,000 on the 14th. And the value is $9 million. And we haven't seen that high of a number since maybe over here on the 7th, December 7th and December 3rd, right? All the other ones, so they're back on the rise. And you know what's funny? You pay attention on Valentine's Day, right? Let me show you this. So look at all these buyers that we've had. This is, you know, today. We still have the green positions are new, so they just bought 101,000. Those are the ones that hit today, right? I don't know when they bought them or anything like that, but they're being reported today with the current system that we have, right? Until the new system kicks in. But the green is new positions, and the white is the open positions. They're still open, okay? But Goldman Sachs has 1.9 million puts, but they also have 2.2 million shares, right? So they're playing both sides. But you see all this buying. And then I'm going to come down here to the 14th, right? You see on the 14th, there was a lot of buying. And it's interesting, huh, that like there was a lot of buying. And then you go back here and you see that there's a lot of FTDs, right, on the same day. Crazy, huh? All right, guys, that's all I really got to say about AMC. Let's go on and move to Lucid. Just not a good day, okay? There was bad news that came out today with Lucid. I'm going to talk about it. So same thing. I mean, it was trading, you know, and holding this, it broke that, came back. It acted as resistance now. Lost it, rejected right now. That's why it's coming back down. The next support level is going to be around 2450. But there was bad news that came out with Lucid. All right, I'm going to touch on that. The volume was low at 31 million. So I'm not going to spend too much time on the chart, guys. I'm just going to give you the basics. If it breaks 24, you could see more bearish action, right? It would come back down to the next support line, which would be like really probably around here, around $20, right? Would be the next support. But yeah, it lost this. It's just been, it was trading sideways for a while, kind of like back here, right? Saw a little relief rally, bad news hit, now it's coming back down, okay? But this is what I'm talking about, the bad news, right? So Lucid to recall over 200 cars due to possible safety issue. On Tuesday, they said that they would recall more than 200 of its premium sedans due to possible safety issues, sending its shares down nearly 5%. California-based company said there was a chance that the front strut damper, a part used in the suspension, was assembled improperly by the supplier. So it was from the supplier, but they just want to be safe, right? So the ones that they think they, which is 203 potentially affected cars, right? They're recalling it just to fix the problem, okay? But yeah, it's, and also remember, guys, it happens to different companies too. Look, for Tesla, it has filed recalls with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration for issues related to its driver assistance system and other software issues. All right, so I'm always going to give you the good news and the bad news, right? But remember, they have earnings on the Monday, the 28th, right? February 28th. So that's what I'm keeping my eye on. I really just don't expect too much, right, until we have new news, which is going to be in their earnings call, right? So let's see, Lucid, the options chain, guys, 25, right? There's a lot of puts here. We're looking at the puts. So at 25, there's a lot, at 24 and at 23. So those are the levels you can expect it to test if it keeps coming down, right? As far as calls, we're looking at 27, 28, 50, and of course $30, 4,900 right now, currently open interest, right? And then I'm just gonna, you know, talk about Decentraland. It has been down with the rest of the crypto market, right? But this is what's going on their Twitter page, okay? And there's some pretty cool things that they announced and whatnot. So in store for 2022, right? Social and voice chat improvements, linked NFTs as wearables, tokenized emotes, smart wearables, and the mobile app prototype, and yes, a VR client. Cool, right? So that's the pinned one. The video I want to show you guys real quick is like they had a little contest, and this is what it looks like, right? They just edited this. Here's my submission, and I think this was, yeah, first place. Just a lot of different things that go on in there, right? Events and games, and you can do a lot. You can spend some time in there for sure. This is what it currently, you know, kind of looks like. The graphics will improve over time, guys, right? 10th place is this one right here. Right, there's like NFTs in there, games. They just released these NFTs that are wearables. That they're going to be giving away to, is what I saw. Live events, guys, like concerts, and the community, right? Of Decentraland and the people. Right, so just wanted to touch on that. They just hit their 2-year birthday party, right? Also today on 20/02/22. Cool. All right, guys, that's all I really got to talk about today, you know. Just wanted to give you the good news, the bad news. Just, you know, hang in there. Like, if you're a diamond-handed ape, guys, right, this is the true test. Like, if you're in it to, you know, if you're holding for glory right now, guys, like, you know, this is the true test. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. This is what it takes. This is, you know, what investors go through, especially, you know, in these bear market situations. But now when you move forward and you trade later on, you're going to be more confident, and, you know, the price right now to me is just psychological, right? Because it doesn't matter to me right now the day-to-day price action with some of my stocks, right? Like Lucid or AMC or whatever, because my conviction is strong and I know what I'm doing with it, right? Because that was the idea and the theory and the DD and everything, that all the energy and time that I spent, you know, researching these companies and what they're representing, right? Whether it's a short squeeze or whether it's an investment or whatever I believe in, right? Like my conviction is strong and it's there, right? So yeah, just wanted to check in with you guys, right? Recap what happened in the market today, and I just hope you have a good night. All right, catch you guys tomorrow.